What's going on, everybody? I am back for a much needed video that I've been wanting to do, and that is basically to announce that after, I would say it's been 11 years, I am back saddle hunting. Yes, one of these. I am using one of these this year. Super excited about it, and today basically it's not going to be anything groundbreaking, anything rocket science, nothing like that. And first and foremost, do want to say I am not an expert saddle hunter by any means. Like I said, I hunted with one for 2 seasons 11 years ago, and in my opinion, I'm going to get into that in a little bit, I was just not into it then for a plethora of different reasons, and we'll get into that. But I do just want to kind of drop in here today and talk about why I decided to go back to this switch, and there's some reasons why, and it's nothing groundbreaking. Like I said, it's something I've been wanting to try. It's something I've been gun shy about because of my experiences back when I first did it. And so that's what today's video is going to be. But I do want to hammer home that I am not claiming to be an expert at saddle hunting or anything like that. I am so novice. I don't even know hardly any of the lingo, any of the saddle features. I'm learning. I just got this thing, and I'm diving in head first. So I've been reaching out to a ton of different people. First and foremost, Alex, Jake, and Kevin from Latitude. Those guys. Greg Litzinger, just some dudes that I know have been doing it a lot longer than I have, and they can kind of show me the ropes. So, first I want to get into when I used to do it. 2011 was the last year I did it. I did it in 2010 and 11, and I used an old original trophy line ambush saddle. I learned from what little bit of John Eberhart told me back then. I should say this is information that John told a friend of mine, which that friend relayed to me. John didn't tell this to me right face to face. So this was everything he was learning from John, and then he relayed to me. But the ring of steps that's what it was then, but looking back on it now, it was just not what I was into. Secondly, my climbing method. I was using, ladder sticks, basically, ones that you put together and you try to get 20 feet high, and then you put a ring of steps, and it just like the mobile hunting for me back then was not what it is now. Taking in 4 mini sticks or 3 mini sticks, and you got aiders and you got swaders and you got all this other stuff, like that wasn't me then. So I think back then I was making it a lot harder than it really needed to be. And honestly, the saddle that I was using, I really just didn't find it that comfortable. I thought it was comfortable at the time, but now kind of looking back on it, all day sits, I couldn't do all day sits in them. It just felt so out of the norm of, tree stand hunting and everything. I was to the point in my hunting journey and that stage where I was like, no, why am I doing this? And secondly, I was like not having good success shooting out of it. And I think it was a little bit of me not practicing enough in the off season. And it was just not a good experience for me. And it was probably a lot of me, honestly, and just not wanting to try something new. I mean, we're talking when I was 23 years old, and 23-year-olds, they're kids. Like, I was a kid, I was immature, and, I just, after 2 seasons, I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore. So now, kind of the transition, it's funny how my hunting style has changed over the last 5-6 years as far as, like, going from all set stands to hunting basically mobile now. Now it's more like, I just like having the mobility to be able to go when and where I want, whenever I want. And that's 100% of what I do. There are times where, like here at my house, I prep a lot of trees that are just there so I can slip in the morning or something like that, where I don't have to go cutting, limbs down or anything like that, or they're already prepped and I just climb in and latch up, however you want to call it, and I'm there. And to me, that's kind of like hanging set stands, you know what I mean? To me, I can get in a little more efficient at that time. But this year, I'm going to be doing a lot of public land hunting for the first time ever. So I got a trip a trip scheduled with a whole bunch of people to hunt public land, and I'm super excited. And this saddle is what I'm going to be taking. So with that being said, I want to get into why I'm making this jump back into saddle hunting. I want to be more efficient, and honestly, I am trying to go lean and mean this year. Like, I'm filming all my hunts as well, but I bought a new pack. It is literally like 830 cubic inches. That's going to hold 4 sticks, a platform, my ropes, and my camera gear, my camera arm and everything. Literally, that is tiny. And I'm looking at, like, right now as like a full, everything I'm going to be taking in is going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds. That's it. That is it. That's not including what I'm wearing as far as like layers, boots, stuff like that. That's just like what's on my back. And I've made that jump because I found that if it's a little more, I don't know, if it's something I got to think about, then I don't end up doing it, or it's like, I don't want to go do that. So I'm trying to make things more simple, more efficient, so I can spend more time out in the woods or glassing or scouting, whatever. That is my goal this year. So I wanted to go lean and mean. And going from my tree stand setup to the saddle setup, I literally have knocked off 10 pounds. Now, I'm not going to be that guy that's like, oh, I need to knock off another half pound. Not going to be that guy. But, I mean, we're talking 10 pounds. Like, that's a lot. So that is like the driving force behind this. Some other things, honestly, I want to be lighter, like I said, but I also want to be more concealed. I think in a tree saddle you can be more concealed than a tree stand, because I'm going to set up with the tree. Everybody talks about setting up with the tree right in front of you, and predicting that the deer movement's going to be on the backside of the tree, basically. So you have that tree to conceal yourself better. That is another big thing that I really like about this whole setup, because honestly, if you're going to try to set up on the backside with a tree stand, I really think it's going to be difficult to do that. I think you could do it, but I think it'll be really difficult to do it. I don't know. Like I said, this video today is not like really groundbreaking or anything. I will go over my setup a little bit, not anything like real technical. I have the Method 2 from Latitude. It is the buckleless one. I mean, there's no metal on this thing. I got one pouch right now. I'm probably going to run one more pouch. I'm going to back up a little bit here but yeah, the Method 2, it's a 2-panel Amsteel bridge. And right now, what I'm doing out in the yard, basically, is I'm just learning this stuff again. I'm learning what I need to do to be efficient. Like I said, efficiency is the biggest thing for me. But I'm learning a lot, like I said, from Alex and Kevin and Jake from Latitude, and how that these bridge loops, if you move them up or down, how that fit changes. I just did a podcast with these guys talking about how with these bridge loops, I feel like the more you can adjust these, the all different fits that you have with this saddle. You're not just restricted to one fit. If you ever get hip pinch, maybe, possibly, then you might have to deal with that. This one, you do not at all. It's really nice. This thing's like 1.5 pounds, and I'm super pumped about it. So that's the Method 2. The other one I have is the Classic. This is just more a single panel, light. This is very light. I do a lot of, like, when I'm going on public land and I'm hanging cameras, if I just need something to walk in with, I take this a lot with one stick to get my cameras up higher than I really need to, but I just like my cameras up high. But this thing's so light and you don't even know you're wearing it. This is what I use a lot. Not saying I won't hunt out of this, but this is gonna be my baby right here, this Method 2. So I really don't want to get this sweaty and all that stuff. So that's why I'm using this thing for going through public land or private and hanging cameras. So that's the gig, man. I do want to talk about the platform. I'm going to use the X-Wing this year from Latitude, and then the sticks. You'll see what I'm going to use here soon with the sticks. It's pretty neat. But I'm just, like I said, I'm not an expert at this by any means. I'm learning, and I'm hoping to learn to where I can be the most efficient that I could possibly be, and be the most successful that I possibly can be. So I guess with that being said, guys, thank you for all the support. Don't forget, go to the Fall Podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Listen to everything if you haven't before, if you're new to the channel. I'm going to try to get more videos, maybe that aren't as mundane as me just sitting here talking to you, but I got more hunts coming. I'm going to be filming myself this fall, all through this fall, so you're going to see that as well. But these are videos that I want to get out. People have been asking about them. I definitely am going to get into like some more technical stuff with these things. The knee pads, the ropes, all that stuff. What I'm going to be using. The pack that I just bought, I want to break that down because it's really cool. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what pack I want to use because I want, like I said, efficiency. That's the name of the game for me. Now, I don't want to be that guy either that's also just like gear, and not focus on the task at killing deer. I want to do this once and then have to just forget it. Like, I want to have my system. That is the bottom line. So there's so many different things out there that everybody can use, so many different methods. I'm just trying to find my method before I go into this season so I'm efficient and successful. So there it is. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you guys know when new videos come up. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.